Somewhere in your skull, right now, something is quietly crossing a border scientists thought was sealed. And a study published in Nature on July 30th, 2026, just caught it happening. For decades, the story of your brain's immune system was simple, almost comforting. Microglia, the brain's resident immune cells, were thought to be set once in the womb and left alone for life. Sealed off, self-sufficient, guarded by the blood-brain barrier, which was taught as an almost impenetrable wall, keeping the chaos of your bloodstream out of your neurons. A private nation with its own citizens, untouched by the rest of the body. That story is now officially wrong. A team at Stanford University, led by postdoctoral scholar Julia Belk, with senior authors Howard Chang and Siddhartha Jaiswal, set out to actually test that assumption in real human tissue. Their method was elegant, and it wasn't imaging or scanning. It was DNA sequencing. As we age, our blood stem cells accumulate small, random typos in their DNA. Harmless mutations that get copied into every immune cell those stem cells produce. Belk's team realized these typos work like a genetic fingerprint. If a cell in the blood and a cell in the brain carry the exact same rare mutation, they almost certainly came from the same original source. It's the same logic behind a consumer ancestry test, except the family tree is written in post-mortem brain and blood samples instead of a spit tube. So they compared the two, and the shared mutations told a story nobody expected. Immune cells from the blood had, in fact, crossed into the human brain, and not in old age, not as some late-life breakdown. It was happening as early as middle age, a slow, steady infiltration decades before we usually start worrying about brain health at all. But here's the part that should really stop you. These invading cells weren't just passing through. Lineage tracing showed they were settling in and transforming, differentiating into cells that looked and behaved like microglia themselves. Picture the difference under a microscope. A native microglial cell is small, branched, almost tree-like, its thin, spiny arms constantly reaching out to survey the tissue around it. A blood monocyte, by contrast, arrives round, smooth, unbranched. The study suggests some of those smooth newcomers are being remodeled into branched residents right there inside the aging human brain. And when the researchers checked mice and non-human primates for the same thing, it wasn't there. This appears to be a uniquely human phenomenon, meaning decades of mouse-based neuroimmunology. The foundation of so much brain research simply missed it, because mice don't do this. Why would this matter for disease? Here's where it clicks into place. For years, epidemiologists had noticed a strange association. People with a condition called CHIP, clonal hematopoiesis of indeterminate potential, where a mutated blood stem cell quietly outproduces its neighbors and fills more and more of your bloodstream with its mutated descendants, have an unexpectedly elevated risk of Alzheimer's disease. Nobody could fully explain why a blood condition would touch the brain. This new lineage tracing work offers a mechanism. If mutated blood cells are migrating into the brain and becoming microglia, then a disorder of the blood could directly seed a disorder of the mind. And separate research in mice adds another piece. The skull and vertebrae bone marrow, sitting just millimeters from the brain's protective membranes, keep their own private reserve of monocytes and B cells, funneled through tiny dedicated vascular channels straight into the meninges, ready to respond the moment they're called on. The border, it turns out, was never a wall. It was always a door, quietly permeable and getting busier with age. There's an unexpectedly hopeful twist here too, because the blood-brain barrier blocks so many promising drugs from ever reaching brain tissue. This discovery hints at a back door. If bone marrow-derived cells can naturally become part of the brain's own immune population, then a stem cell transplant might one day be used to deliver therapies past that barrier, smuggled inside the very cells the brain already welcomes. We spent decades assuming the brain guarded itself completely. It turns out it's been quietly negotiating with the rest of the body the whole time. And that negotiation may be rewriting what we thought we knew about Alzheimer's itself. If that surprised you, wait until you hear what else your immune system is secretly doing as you age. That's the next episode in Body Science.